Hello, my name is Insane Raven. I'm back with a podcast form. Hopefully, this doesn't suck. I do think this is going to be probably the worst form of Tales of the Hunts in its entirety. Which, if you're here for, you're here for, I guess. But today we're going to be going with. Ooh, just had dinner. Probably should have recorded the podcast right after dinner. There's gonna be so many burps and gross sounds. Who am I making this for? Anyway, this is for the Mortal Kombat 11 thing. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pretty much go through each of the trophies in the order that I got them. I'm doing this on the PS3 because my PS4 crashes every like 10 to 15 minutes when I'm using my Elgato. I'm not sure if it's because of my computer or because of the Elgato or because what, but it goes all gross, so I'm not dealing with that. So here we go. Thank you for being a fan. Reach the credits. You get this just for doing any tower with any, let me rephrase that. Any character tower that gives you a character ending. Any of those, any tower that ends up with a fight with big bad boss Chronica is gonna get you this trophy. Not that bad. All completing the campaign. Really easy stuff. Classic tower is what they're officially called. The same thing. Got it at the same time. Moving on. Okay. Duck 100 times during a match. This is really easy. Do a player versus player match and just keep spamming the down button until you get it. It's not hard. This goes not dead. This is for flipping stance 50 times during a match. I did this in the same match that I did the Oh My trophy. So basically that whole match was just me standing in front of, I think it was Johnny Cage. Someone just like teabagging and flipping like a lunatic. Good stuff. This is why I hunt, fighting games, I hit the gong in the crypt. You actually get this by one of your earliest moments in the crypt. What you're going to do is you're going to run past the gallows type thing, kind of, and not into the next forward open section, but on the left there's a little side area. Grab the hammer, hit the gong, boom, trophy. Moving on. My magic shoes. You're going to get this for running 5 miles in the crypt. You'll just get that eventually anyway. A good chunk of the trophies, there's actually trophies for almost all of the, there's a trophy for getting and using both fatalities with every single base game, character, which you can unlock through running around in the crypt and getting all stuff. That's all, procedurally generated. It's not standard like it was before, and that caused a lot of problems. Doesn't really matter for the My Magic Shoes trophy. I should probably go back to that trophy. I'm going to continue to talk about it. But yeah, basically, you're going to get this just for running around and picking up cosmetics, doing that whole kind of stick. Not that bad. It's really just, and I got it as one of the first trophies I even got in my playthrough. So, not that bad. Hit the dojo. It's completing for all the basic tutorials. Super easy. It was almost laughable. The group battle with 2 other players. This is one of the trophies that you're gonna have to be on. The tower section is the far left one. It's a group tower. All you have to do is play it. You don't even have to win. It's probably one of the most chill online trophies Mortal Kombat has. So don't worry about it. Just get into a match and you're fine. I can't imagine it being too much of a nightmare for too long. If I sound distracted, it's because there's a bug flying in my room, and I'm trying to get in range so I can kill it. Wah! I missed. Okay, that's fine. Trophies. Blood in the water. Spill 10,000 pints of blood. You're gonna get that. It sounds like a lot, but it really isn't. I think it's a reference to Mortal Kombat 9, where you had to spill 10,000 pints of blood, or 10 million pints of blood. It was something ridiculous amount of blood with every single character, and it was just gross. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. This is Jade's 2 different fatalities trophies. I'm gonna skip all of these from here on out, mostly because we've already talked about them, and they're not that interesting. But What you can actually do to make it easier, if you don't want to spend a bunch of time running around a procedurally generated crypt, is you can just use the easy fatality tokens, which you can get from the crypt or as rewards for completing towers. And just pick Jade, pick the one you don't have, and you'll get the trophy. Literally, that's what I did for almost all of these things. 2 different fatalities Noob, 2 different fatalities Sonya, 15 different fatalities. It's gonna be one of the ones that you have to get anyway, as you're doing the 2 different with all the base games. Anyway, I don't know if DLC characters count. That is the only little caveat I would say to this trophy. I just don't know if that counts. If it does, yay. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. Perform 25 different brutalities. I don't know why I say 25 that way. That was weird. It was like I was saying Toontown, but it wasn't. The brutalities? I can't read. Why did I decide to do a podcast if I can't even read? The brutalities. I'm bilingual. The easiest one to do here is the classic, which you're gonna get for doing an uppercut and popping the dude's head and spine off. Perform an uppercut 3 times in a single round, and you will get the trophy. It is super. If you're going for the boring way and the streamlined way, it's quite boring. I don't recommend doing it that way, mostly because it does kind of take away a lot of the fun of it. And a lot of the fun with Mortal Kombat is kind of exploring the brutalities, exploring the fatalities, the friendships, and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to just do it as boring as possible, keep it with a classic. If you want to kind of have fun with it, definitely mix and match. Find the different brutalities that you like and do. My favorite, I think, was Joker's like grab, where he just used the Batman puppet and just shot the dude to death. Just because he was brutal. And I like the Joker. I bought the Joker. I'm not proud of that. Yes, I am. He became my top played character because he's a madman. Princess Power, 2 different fatalities with Katana, Turn Back Time, 2 different fatalities with Garrus, 2 different fatalities with Scorpion, It Never Ends, 2 different fatalities with Cetrion. She was actually, I want to stop here for a second. She was actually my number 1 for a while before Joker came out. She was my number 1 played. She and another character that I'll kind of stop and mention. It was technically 3. It was technically there were 3 characters that were kind of fighting for my number 1 spot. But for a while, she was it. I tried to kind of experiment with her. I didn't end up liking her style because I did end up kind of going with the Joker. Why are words so hard to say? So hard to say in a podcast. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Hat trick. Doing 2 different fatalities to Kung Lao. 50% of the story mode. I actually really enjoyed the story of Mortal Kombat. I really did enjoy it, which is weird. Because I don't feel like it was I haven't played any Mortal Kombats before this. So it was fun because I was like, oh, I can recognize that this is for fans of Mortal Kombat. This is like the biggest love letter to the fans of this franchise I have ever seen. And that's amazing and good for you guys. I'm glad you have this. I'm glad that you can experience this and get all your favorite moments and characters. And time travel and all this nonsense. But this is not for me. I am very confused. Are you good? Are you supposed to be good? You're bad. You're bad, but you're supposed to be good. Huh? So yeah, I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the story because I was like, this is fun. I wish I understood everything. But you know, you really can't walk into the 11th thing of a franchise and then be upset when you don't understand everything that's happening. You can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. It's moving on. Aaron Black, collecting bounties. He was also my other number 1 spot for a while before Joker came out. Love this man. I did play Mortal Kombat 10 X because I did originally plan on platinuming Mortal Kombat X. The original plan for this video was to platinum Mortal Kombat X and go through all that. I bought Mortal Kombat XL, and then the servers pretty much emptied out almost completely, and there were a number of trophies in Mortal Kombat X that, with the servers being as empty as they are now, make it almost impossible to platinum. So there's a part of my brain that's like, you gotta do it. It's sitting on your digital shelf. You gotta go for it. But I can't bring myself to do it. It doesn't feel like there's a way to actually progress in that hunt. So if we can get, here's what I'll say right now. It's 11 minutes in. Anyone who's still here for this mess of a podcast, if you are willing to join me in this crusade to go back to Mortal Kombat X and platinum Mortal Kombat X, if you're willing to go there with me, I will platinum it. I'll platinum it. I don't know how that would even work at this point. Like, we would have to heavily detail this plan out, because some of the trophies I have left are just nightmare fuel. They involve doing invasion bosses. They involve doing skill towers, challenge towers, a bunch of other stuff. So, we would need a group of us to be like, okay, this is what we're doing. We're doing Mortal Kombat 10. We gotta break the universe to make this work, but I'd be willing to do that. The reason why I'm bringing up Mortal Kombat 10 is because that's why I first met Aaron Black. I did play a good chunk of him. He was my go-to guy back there. I actually got a lot of the miscellaneous trophies in there. And when I saw that he made a return in Mortal Kombat 11, I was like, great. I have a character I know. And it turned out to be pretty much useless, because there were other characters that I liked and there were other things that I liked. And then Joker came out and I'm like, I don't need to play you anymore. Family Values performed 2 different fatalities with Cassie Cage. Used 50 consumables. This was actually pretty easy because of all the towers you have to complete. You have to end up completing 250 towers. I just kind of threw on consumables to make it easier for myself, because I did a couple of the more intense ones to kind of give it my all. Be like, all right, I need to prove that Raven can not only play Injustice, but he can also get in the ring of Mortal Kombat. So I did that. And then I was like, cool, I don't need to impress anyone anymore. I impressed myself. Let's go beat everyone up with 20 consumables and make it laughable. Because that's what they do. They make it laughable. And then boom. See, I did them back to back. Is that in the same day? Yeah, same day. Same day. Not a little bit over an hour apart. It looks like an hour and a half apart. I can't do numbers yet, so there's that. The show not dead yet. The Show Mercy trophy was a bitch. Mostly because I didn't know you can show mercy. But once I looked up how to do the button command, which I am currently forgetting because this was fucking 2 years ago at this point. Good sir. Plus a lot. Okay, first off, guys, straight up. I'm gonna be real with you. The reason why we're doing these podcast videos, I did quotation marks, but you can't see them because, is because all of these games I did, I platinumed. I platinumed during the era right after I said, yo, I'm done with YouTube, because YouTube decides it can just change its rules overnight and then destroy your content, and that's not cool. So it was in between that era and the day after. If you know, then you know. But that's always how I'm gonna refer to that, by the way. I'm not gonna ever say what the day after is. Because if you know, you know. But, yeah. That's why I'm doing all these. So, as much as I wish I could be very specific and very detail-oriented, to be like, hey, here's the best way you can get these trophies. I'm realistically not going to be able to do that for a lot of them. For a lot of them, it's just going to be like, I don't know, you did some shit there, you did some shit there, you got the thing and you moved on, alright? Alright, good on ya. But I will give, like, I will give tips as I see fit. And this one, I know I had to look it up. I think it's like left, right, down, up, and then R2 a bunch of times or something like that until it happens. I know you have to hit like R2 like 10 times. You have to like keep flipping like 10 a bunch before the mercy happens. And then what you can do, I almost dropped the controller. As long as you don't perform a brutality on them, you can do a mercy and then you can perform a brutality. So you can essentially win 2 different trophies at once. But being that you only have to show mercy 10 times, it's not that hard. Like, look up a guide, learn how to do a mercy, and then you're good. You're just good. Total disrespect. This is one of the trophies that actually required you to know what you were doing. For Bugvora, you have to become the insect lady. There's one of her things, one of her like abilities that she turns into a bug. So what I did was I set up a second controller. I beat them within an inch of their life. That other character who wasn't there. And then I made myself into Bugvora, and then I beat them because it was easier that way than trying to do it for real. And there's a reason why this is a trophy, even though it's only a bronze, is because you're not supposed to do it. That's not supposed to be a thing. It's kind of cheatsy doodling. Moving on. Perform 2 different fatalities with Frost. Perform 30 different fatalities. This is the one that you get, I think, when you pretty much have done all of the stuff on my own. All of the trophies for all of the fatalities for everyone else. This is the kind of like reward you get. Plus, you just get to see a bunch of people die in very brutal ways. It's kind of fun. Does that make me a bad person? Maybe. Moving on. Perform 2 different fatalities with Sub-Zero. Like I said, it wasn't exact. Actually, was it exact? Or maybe I should look at that. 4:32 a.m. Why was I up at 4:32 a.m.? Current Raven is judging past Raven's life choices. Why? What were you doing, good sir? Is it? And those were different times. I don't even know. I need help. Moving on. And then there's the Get Some trophy for getting 2 different fatalities with Jack. So apparently you have a lot of time before you need to actually do anything. Give me that money. Spend 50,000 coins in the Naknadan shrine. This is actually in the crypt. You kind of get like a mini cutscene. A mini cutscene for it. I'm showing you the shrine. By donating any money at all, you get a special crypt item. And then you just have to continually spend 50,000 coins. I think the most you can spend in a single thing is 10,000. I remember having to do it a couple of times before the trophy popped, but it's nothing. If you have the coins, it's not a big deal. And with the amount of grinding you're going to have to do just with the towers, again, I cannot stress this enough. All of the grinding is done just completing the 250 towers. This isn't a big deal. Open up 200 crypt chest. If you're doing the perform 2 different fatalities with every character legitimately, this is easy. This is super fucking easy. If you're not, and if you're doing it like I did with easy fatalities because you just want trophies and you're a bit of a goblin, might be difficult for you just because it takes time. It's just a matter of like walking around and opening up stuff, having the money to open up stuff. A lot of this is money centric, but with the amount of costumes and the amount of just like stuff this in these chests, it's worth it. It ends up being worth it. They definitely took the ideology of customization and movesets and all that kind of stuff from Injustice 2 and was like, alright, how do we make it better? And how do we make it more in depth? And how do we make it more of a love letter to Mortal Kombat fans? And that's what they did. I played Cabal in 2 different fatalities with Cabal. I definitely 2 different fatalities with the Collector, 2 different fatalities with Scarlet. This is my other character. This is the final character that was kind of vying for my third first place position. Before that, I want to just say straight up, I really didn't love this game. This is one of the few games that even after I platinumed the game, I was like, alright, I'll give you some money for DLC just to kind of have fun with the characters, just to kind of like play around. I love the fact that Terminator was in it. I stopped playing at Aftermath because once they released Aftermath, I was like, there's no other way you're gonna get these characters. I'm like, I don't give a shit anymore. I am out, my dog. Which is kind of upsetting because then they put in, like, with Aftermath, they brought in RoboCop, and they threw in Rambo of all characters, which I absolutely love. I think Spawn. Was in Mortal Kombat? Or am I confusing it with Injustice 2? But I played a lot of Spawn in one of those games. In one of those games, I did a lot of time with Spawn. Bugging out 2 different fatalities with Devora, 2 different fatalities with Kano, 2 different fatalities with Raiden. 2 different fatalities with Kotal Khan. I did enjoy my time with Kotal Khan. That sounds wrong in my mouth. Kotal Khan. No. I don't like it, but I did spend a good chunk of time with Kotal Khan. God, my mouth is awful. He was like, the other 3 characters were characters I was like, alright, you're basically my number 1 players. He was number 2. He was a clear number 2, which technically makes him number 4. It's very confusing, my standards. Moving on. Bound Town. Performed 2 different fatalities with Jackie Briggs. I have a feeling that there's a lot of Rule 34 art concerning these characters, and that Pound Town just like confirms that they knew it was gonna happen, which makes me sad. Gage performed 2 different fatalities with Johnny Cage. Hold on. I'm just thinking about this now. Did I accidentally schedule this podcast to come out like a week or 2 before / this is coming out right around the time of Mortal Kombat the movie, right? Is that right? Do I have the timeline right? Hold on. You guys can't see my face, but I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna check it because I'm curious. I'm gonna check it with you guys on mic? Because I'm not on camera. Is this on mic? I feel like this is something. This is something. Insane Raven. This is something. Put that as a fucking... that should be the banner. Forget the, like, sexy Raven on top. It should just be... This is something. What is the Mortal Kombat 2021 film? Roommates are yelling at dogs. Oh, it's in April. It is in April, which, yeah, that's pretty much when this is coming out. It's coming out very close. Yeah. So, if you've seen it by now, no, don't spoil it in the comment section down below. But let me know if it was good. I just want to know, was it good? Because unless it comes on video on demand at a stupid cheap price, I'm not going to see this movie anytime soon. Mostly because I don't have money. This video is coming out. This thing, this is just a thing now, is coming out relatively soon while I'm working on a bunch of stuff. Because I made the anniversary video. And yeah, that was fun. Did you guys have fun with that? Moving on. Thrashed. 2 different fatalities with Baraka. 2 different fatalities with Liu Kang for the no bag boy. I'm glad they brought the dragon back. I don't feel like the dragon was around for a little bit. Classic towers with 10 different characters. I always did it on warrior mode just because I felt like that was the most fun way of doing it. Plus you can do multiple classic characters. This becomes really easy. I know this one specifically you need to do with 10 different characters, but you like, again, just to like go through towers, you could do it with 1 character. Complete all the advanced tutorials, ready to complete. Not that hard, pretty easy. 10 different battle simulator sets. I honestly didn't understand this. I don't understand why it was there. I don't understand why it was included. It just seemed weird. It seemed like something that they had in Injustice 2, but each character in that game had a leveling system, so it made sense to be like, hey, let the AI do it, so I don't gotta play your game. But here, it didn't make sense. Like, there was no leveling system for individual characters or anything like that. There was for your profile, which I guess gave you time crystals, but it made very little sense, is what I'm saying. It was a bad design. I don't get why this was here. Moving on. Respect. This is another one of the trophies where you need to do online mode. Also, with my AI, I can do it. This is just, you have to pay 100 different respect points. You don't have to get 100 respect points. That'd be silly. That would make this trophy way more annoying. It's not annoying. None of the trophies in this game is annoying, with the exception of one, which I will curse out once we get there, because fuck that trophy. But no, just give 10 every time, and you know, you're good. Just make sure you're not asleep at the wheel when you're doing King of the Hill, and you know, you're good. Get over here! Spear 50 hanging bodies in the crypt. Now, I heard that this was glitched out. I do not remember it being glitched out for me. I also don't remember counting that closely. So it might have glitched out on me. And I just was bad at counting. Which is possible. Just keep spearing hanging bodies till you get it. You do have to unlock the... You have to find the scorpion spear in the crypts, which I don't remember where it was. I remember it was like a moment, kind of like Kanashi's blindfold. It was definitely a moment in the crypt when you go exploring. It's like, hey, you found the thing. For some reason, my brain wants to go. It was at the end. It was like at the bottom. It was at the floor level of the bridge where someone gets like kicked off. They get spiked, and he's like, "Oh hey, pick that up." But it doesn't sound right. I'll include a link to a video where someone shows it explicitly. Same thing with the other trophy I was confused on, which I've already forgotten. So you know. Maybe I'm just talking on my ass. I don't know. Moving on. What's next? Complete the story mode. I hated the ending. Like, I know I don't have all the backstory of everything that was happening, but I did not like the ending of this game whatsoever. Moving on. Equip 5 different character intros. This is going to be something that is a bit of a grind. And if you use the daily store that pops up, you can make it a bit easier. But just by doing the classic towers, you unlock these, which is super fun. The tower champion for completing 125 towers. Again, it's just, this is one of the grind ones. You got to keep going through it. The AI battle simulator sets. Again, I've already bitched about it. Still don't understand it, and they're like 3 minutes in between those 2 trophies. But moving on. Impale a head on the warrior shrine. This is stupid. Because what you have to do is you have to perform a fatality on a specific character. It doesn't matter which character, but you have to like pick a character that you hate their life and perform 50 different fatalities on that character. You go into the shrine, their head will appear on a spike in front of a like mural of their face. It's like stone carving. It's not a mural. Mural is paint. It's a stone carving of their face. And then once you get this, a little chest will pop up, giving you, I want to say it's a victory pose. I'm pretty confident it's a victory pose. Which then becomes super helpful in the victorious trophy. Which is why I said I wanted to say it was a victory pose, because that was the next thing I got. I know I got it with Kano. I know it was annoying. And I know it was fun to finally have done. This is another one where just using the store will be your best bet. I don't remember if the DLC characters count here at either. I don't know why they wouldn't, but I don't want to say definitively that they do unless they do. So don't count on them. If you can, whenever you're doing these kind of like collectible progression type of things, stick with your base game characters just to save yourself headache and heartache. Alright? That's the best I can tell you. Perform 100 different brutalities. We've kind of already talked about this one. For a podcast, this is going to be shorter than some... No, this is about longer than some of my videos that I've done. Okay. No bad matchups. Fuck this trophy. Like, holy shit, fuck this trophy. This trophy right here is gonna be your make it or break it trophy. If you play as any other character besides Raiden, this is gonna be your make it or break it trophy. Because Raiden's goddamn combo drove me up a fucking wall. Okay? Hey. It drove me up a fucking wall. Getting this trophy let me know that I was gonna get the platinum. This is the trophy. The fucking strategy to total trophy. I got this. And I was like, okay, good. I guess I'm gonna just play this non-stop until I get the trophy. Do you even see the distance? So I got this on 6/20/2020. There was a 2-month period where I did not get a single trophy in this game because of this trophy. I fucking hate this trophy. Moving on. Play 50 casual versus matches. I know I did all of this, most of these with Joker because I was having fun with him. And then the complete 250 Towers trophy, which then gives you the Elder God trophy, which if you haven't played the story, I guess I can say spoilers, but then they also spoiled it in the Aftermath DLC trailers, so I don't know what you want from me. Alright? There you go. There's the Elder God trophy. If I had... I can actually throw it... No, nope. Can I? I'm going to say this now, and then I'm not going to do it. But just in case I remember, I'm going to say it, so you're not surprised. This is the Platinum Trophy. I have a pop figurine for this game somewhere in here. And you know, I think with this one, I'm happy I got this trophy because it is another notch in my fighting game belt. At this point, I have Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Injustice, and I'm working on another big one. Another big fighting game I'm working on. And then there's a couple of other fighting games that are smaller, which I don't think have as much wild acclaim and wild love for. But I'm also working on those. That's what I'm going to do. So in every... I'm going to kind of tease a future episode, a future season 3 episode that I'm either working on in the moment or I have already done and I just have to make the video for in each one of these podcasts. Because that would then give you something to watch. Be like, I could listen to a crazy man talk for a bunch of trophies, about a bunch of trophies. or I could just do anything else with my life. But at least this would be like, hey, here's an incentive, I guess. So yeah, there are a couple of fighting games I'm working on now, which I'm excited for. And it's also pretty clear that Mortal Kombat 11 isn't going anywhere in terms of fucking servers or anything. So you do have time with this. I would be careful with older fighting games just because the online is either full of gods or they're empty. There's really no in between. So kind of keep your head aware of that. And thank you. I want to know. We'll do this as well. So I've asked you a bunch of questions in this podcast, kind of just because I'm talking to myself like a crazy person. But one, how was the Mortal Kombat movie? Was it good? Yes or no? I don't want to know how. Don't want to know anything else because I'm hoping to be able to see it, even though I highly doubt I'll be able to. But moving on. 2, what fighting game do you think I'm working on right now? Like, I gave you 2 little hints for 2 different ones. But let me know what you think I'm working on. And 3, if you have tips for how I can make this podcast better, because I'm already going insane, Raven, let me know, because I would like to make this better for you guys, so it's a little bit more interesting, but I also want to make it as least of a headache to make, because there are a good amount of games that I have to kind of do this thing, because I wasn't making content. I never thought I'd be making content again, which I'm sorry about that, but I'm paying the price now. You're also kind of paying the price, which I'm sorry for. Like, I didn't mean it to do it that way, but that's what happened. But so yeah, now we move forward, and I'll see you guys next time. Last question: what do you think is gonna be the next podcast? Question for you. So that's 3 questions, 4 questions, a lot of questions. Talk to me. I'm so lonely. All right.